I'm just thinking about that break from the heat halfway into the week.
Yeah, that 87 degrees, which is still 1 degree above average. But we're going to get there. But the thing is, we have to deal with some rounds of showers and thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday, before we can get that very brief break. We are going to be lucky. There's going to be states out to our west that will be in the triple digits, so a lot of heat coming.
Thanks for watching us right here on WKYT. Have a good night.
Kentuckian J.B. Holmes turned in his best ever finish in a major. The former UK golfer finished third in today's final round of the Open Championship. But many will only remember the epic duel between Henrik Stenson and Phil Mickelson. The pair entered Sunday's final round a touchdown ahead of the rest of the field. Holmes had 4 birdies in his final round. His worst hole was here on 15. However, he delivers a beautiful chip shot that almost goes in. He would double bogey that hole. On the second hole, Phil Mickelson's tough chip shot almost finds its home just over the lip of the cup. He would save par. Stenson would birdie. Both would move to 12 under par. 15th hole, this is Stenson, and he had his putter going. From 51 feet away, this ball has eyes. The birdie to move to 18 under, and then on 18, Stenson with a 2-stroke lead. This putt for birdie, and why not? He sinks it to win by 3 shots at 20 under par, his first major championship win. Mickelson finishes in second at 17 under par. J.B. Holmes shoots a final round of 69 for a distant third place. Stenson said that it was his turn.
I felt like this was going to be my turn.
Really?
It's not something you want to run around and shout, but I felt like this was going to be my turn. I knew I was going to have to battle back if it wasn't, but I think that was the extra self-belief that made me go all the way this week.
On Saturday, Tyler Ulis was the hero, hitting the game-winning 3-pointer in overtime, advancing his Suns in the NBA Summer League playoffs. Tonight, Ulis and the Suns met up with the Timberwolves in the Summer League semifinals. Fourth quarter, Ulis gets the step-back jumper to fall. However, he would struggle a bit from the field tonight, just 5 for 21. Suns were down 11 with a minute to play in the game. Ulis knocks it down from the left elbow. And then on the break, Ulis fires from the left wing for 3. That brought Phoenix within 6, but that's as close as they would get. Minnesota gets the win 93-83. Ulis finishes with 11 points and 7 assists in his final Summer League game. Cavaliers and the Bulls in the other semifinal game. One Wildcat in this one. That's DeAndre Liggins right on cue. Liggins knocks down the 3 from the corner. Go to the third quarter now. Liggins driving, spinning, and scoring off the glass. Liggins had 6 points and 5 rebounds for the Cavs, but Chicago wins 85-79, so it'll be the Bulls and the Timberwolves Monday night in the championship game. UK track and field junior Kia Seymour claimed not 1, but 2 gold medals Sunday at the NACAC Championships in El Salvador. Seymour won gold in the 400-meter hurdles and as a part of Team USA's 4x400-meter relay. Last night, Kentucky freshman Jasmine Camacho Quinn took first place in the 100-meter hurdles in a meet record 12.78 seconds at the NACAC Championships. Not the best video here, but you can see her out there in front in lane 4. Camacho Quinn gets the win. She will, by the way, represent Puerto Rico at the Rio Olympics next month. 99% of the Reds-Brewers game was uneventful, but the 1% delivered. Goose eggs in the bottom of the 9th. Reds with runners on the corners. Jay Bruce at the plate, and the pitch gets away from Jonathan Lucroy. Billy Hamilton speeds home for the always exciting walk-off pass ball. 1-0 the final. Hamilton had previously stolen third base to put himself in position to get the game winner. Indians visiting the Twins, and former Kentucky Wildcat Jason Kipnis having a day. With 1 out in the 9th, Kipnis sends a fastball the other way and over the left center field wall. His 15th home run of the season. Kipnis was 3 for 4 with a home run, a walk, and a run-preventing defensive play. Indians get the win 6-1. And back in town, Lexington Legends hosting the Asheville Tourist. Second inning. Xavier Fernandez puts Lexington on the board with this solo shot to left center. Nicely placed WKYT sign out there in left field. Now 7-5, Lexington in the 9th inning. Tourists trying to make a comeback. Carlos Herrera appears to have a single, but Roman Collins there with the diving catch to end the game. Yeah, worth another look. The Legends hold on for the 7-5 win. Good catch there and good win for the Legends.
Legends win, Reds win.
I know that hadn't happened very often, just because of the Reds, not because, I mean, it hadn't happened very often where both teams win the same day. So there you go.
We'll be right back with a final look at weather. Tragedy strikes Baton Rouge, Louisiana again.
We'll get through this as a community.
We're learning tonight what led up to the shooting that killed 3 police officers.
You know, you never know when you say goodbye that might be the last time.
The Franklin County Sheriff says he's shocked after 3 officers are shot and killed in Baton Rouge. We talked with him about why he's so thankful to serve this community.
And how a Central Kentucky community is supporting the family of a man killed in a crash.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Storms in our work week. Thanks for staying up with WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. The weekend has been all about the heat, but storms return this week. We begin with WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell and the no-wait weather forecast.
That's right. That's the focus of the forecast. Storms returning to the bluegrass as we head into the new work week tomorrow and into your Tuesday. But the heat stays. We're not going to be getting rid of the nice dose that we've had. It will remain around the area. Tonight, though, what we're tracking is some showers and thunderstorms just to our north across parts of Illinois getting into Indiana. It sparked a severe thunderstorm watch. These storms will eventually try to work their way toward the south and impact us across parts of Kentucky as we get into the early morning and into midday tomorrow. This is our high resolution model, and we'll take you hour by hour through the overnight. And what it's done is it's taken the latest images from those thunderstorms, and it's going to bring some of the rain into the area between about 9 and noon. Now notice it weakens considerably. But what happens behind that is a front will press right on into that hot and juicy air that's in place, and that will spark more thunderstorms as we get into the late afternoon and into the evening. I'll track those and all of those 90-degree days coming up in just a few minutes.
Tragedy hits Louisiana just days after a shooter kills 5 police officers in Dallas, Texas. Another man kills 3 officers in Baton Rouge and injures 3 others. Today's shooting comes almost 2 weeks after the death of Alton Sterling at the hands of a Baton Rouge police officer. CBS's Don Champion is in Louisiana with our top story at 11.
Investigators say Gavin Long, a decorated ex-Marine, acted alone when he exchanged gunfire with police officers at a gas station in Baton Rouge Sunday. The officers were responding to reports of a suspicious person dressed in all black with a gun. An eyewitness live streamed the rampage on social media.
Nice little sniper rifle. He is military.
CBS News has learned that Long rented a white Chevy vehicle last week and drove to Baton Rouge. The 5-year veteran also posted on social media under the pseudonym Cosmo Setapinra.
You gotta fight back. That's the only way a bully knows to quit.
In one of his final acts, Long tweeted, quote, "Just because you shed your physical body doesn't mean that you're dead." Investigators had a more than 1-mile-long area shut down while they went over the crime scene for evidence. 3 officers were killed, including Montrell Jackson, who had been with the Baton Rouge Police Department for 10 years.
We'll get through this as a family. We'll get through this as a community.
Officers eventually killed the gunman. Baton Rouge has been a city on edge since the police shooting of Alton Sterling nearly 2 weeks ago. Local leaders are calling for calm again.
We need to sit down at the table and have realistic conversation about race relations in this city.
Kansas City police shut down a road outside of Long's home as investigators searched for a motive behind his attack. Don Champion, CBS News, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Law enforcement agencies across the nation are offering their condolences to officers and sheriff's deputies in Baton Rouge. Many are posting messages of support on social media. Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton talked to WKYT's Caitlin Sentner about the rising risks law enforcement face. Caitlin continues our top story team coverage.
My men and women have children that they go home to every day. And that's #1 rule in law enforcement is you go home at the end of your shift. It's tough, you know, you never know when you say goodbye that might be the last time.
It was the Dallas police shooting rocking communities across the nation, and now, just 10 days later, 3 officers in Baton Rouge are dead.
Our country right now is in a very, very ugly spot, and I never thought I'd see the day that it would come to it, that police officers and sheriff's deputies are being targeted.
Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton says the statistics are staggering. According to the Officer Down Memorial page, line of duty gunfire deaths this year are up by 94%, something he says is unwarranted.
But, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think any police officer wants to take a life. That's not what they're there for. That's not what they're in it for.
Sheriff Melton says he likes to see his officers out and being involved in the community. He says it's just who they are. Just last week, an officer was caught on camera buying a group of kids ice cream.
My guys care. This is where they live. This is where they work, and we're all raising our families here, and that's important.
He says Franklin County isn't seeing the issues other parts of the country are, and he says he's proud of that.
I don't think that what we're seeing really is what America's about. It's not who we are, and we've got to stop. We've got to come together as a country. Trust me, there's enough people out there that want to hurt our country without us doing it internally to ourselves.
In Franklin County, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
The sheriff has asked his deputies to keep an eye out for one another. He also says there has been an outpouring of support from the community. Other departments across Kentucky are also mourning the loss of the 3 officers in Louisiana. Nicholasville police tweeted this photo this afternoon showing just how fast the community is coming to their side. In one show of support, someone dropped off a plate of cookies. State leaders are weighing in on the shooting in Baton Rouge. Senate Majority Leader and Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell released a statement late this afternoon saying this unjustifiable attack is not just an attack on law enforcement. It is an attack on the very principles that bind us as a nation. And Governor Matt Bevin tweeted, "Let us all stand united in condemning the evil that is being unleashed on those who are protecting us." You can read their full statements right now on WKYT.com. State police are investigating a deadly ATV crash in southeastern Kentucky. Late last night, troopers say 4 people were riding an ATV in the Cary community in Knott County. They say the ATV crashed, 2 people flew off, and that the ATV landed on top of them. The Knott County coroner says 54-year-old Anthony Singleton and 54-year-old Billy Breeding died. Breeding worked at the Fisty Volunteer Fire Department. Another person went to a nearby hospital. The 4th was not injured. Several auto workers and auto shops worked together today to raise money for the family of one shop's worker. Jeremy Hampton died back in June in a crash on US 27. WKYT's Sabir Rayford talked to Hampton's family about his employer's support.
Workers at Lucky's Auto Sports are used to seeing all kinds of different cars and motorcycles in their lot. But what was different about today is that some of those parking spaces were filled by people from other shops.
Really today we just wanted to honor him.
Several different auto shops from all over the area came together today to raise money for Jeremy Hampton's family. He worked at Lucky's and his co-workers describe him as a star employee.
He was just a really great guy all around at his house and all around at the shop.
The 30-year-old lost his life a little over a month ago in a crash on Nicholasville Road.
What we really want to do today is honor him in the best way possible. And one of the really neat things about the car community and the motorcycle community is when something happens within our communities, we all bond together.
Some got on their bikes, others got in their car, and they rode together to the park to celebrate Jeremy's life. Organizers made sure the music was up loud and that there was plenty of food on the grill.
We think he'd like it. Looked like a shirt he would wear.
Yeah, it does.
As part of the fundraising efforts, the group sold T-shirts with his name on it.
We just felt like this was something that he would enjoy doing and enjoy being done to remember him.
We have just been overwhelmed at the outpouring of grief and support that we've gotten.
Jeremy's stepmother says losing him has been tough, but seeing the joy his memory brings has been comforting to their family.
Every day we try to talk about Jeremy and all the good things that he did in life, and we know that where he's at is a good place.
In Lexington, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
They say as long as there is a need, they will continue to raise money for Hampton's family. Investigators in Georgia are still trying to figure out what caused a boat to flip, killing 4 Kentuckians. Divers on Lake Lanier found the bodies of 44-year-old Anthony Reese Jr. and and 46-year-old Arthur McMahon early this morning. They found the bodies of their wives, Tammy Reese and Melissa McMahon, yesterday. The two couples were at the lake for a charity poker run when the accident happened. The Reeses were from Adair County. Their funeral arrangements are still pending. The McMahons were from Bullitt County. Their children have released a statement saying, "Our parents meant the world to us. We never realized how much impact they had on people's lives." The statement goes on to say, "They were one of a kind and will truly be missed. Thank you again for your continued prayers." Deputies will soon escort a man charged in connection with a murder this weekend back to Taylor County. Campbellsville police say Rocky Ashby shot and killed a woman early yesterday morning and then stole a red pickup truck. They arrested Ashby last night in Shelby County. We talked to deputies at the jail there tonight, and they say they are waiting for Taylor County investigators to pick up Ashby. Campbellsville police found the stolen truck today, and they also recovered a lawnmower and tools that were inside the truck. It can be a parent's biggest fear, a child missing. Investigators say fingerprints are an important factor in finding a missing person. And this week, police in London are working with the Laurel County Public Library to fingerprint children for free as part of the Safe ID Kids program. Each parent gets a card with their child's fingerprint, age, eye color, hair color, home address, and picture.
So in the event that a child does go missing, they have that immediately available to hand to the police department to say, my child's missing, this has all of their information on it, these are their fingerprints.
The event is Thursday at the Laurel County Public Library in the children's section. It is free and open to the public. Still to come on WKYT, police in Cleveland say they are ready. The Republican National Convention is underway.
That college degree meant a lot to him.
And paying it forward, how friends of a fallen trooper are keeping his generous spirit alive.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Nice and calm out there tonight. Well, maybe not the word nice. Maybe we should say it's getting warm. How about that? Temperatures are still running in the mid and upper 70s in many locations out there tonight, so it's not exactly nice. It's just okay. How about that? Plain old okay. Here's what we've got in Lexington. 77 degrees with a feels-like temperature of 79. It's 11 o'clock at night, and I have to talk about a feels-like temperature. The heat index feels like 79 out there. So in the morning, be prepared for very similar conditions. It's very sticky, and with these with this particular warm air mass that's in place and the high levels of humidity, it'll be kind of nasty for you in the morning as work week begins. Storms are likely early this week. We'll probably track some maybe into the 9 to 12 o'clock hour tomorrow, at least a few, and then they'll come again later on today. Some of them could be on the strong side, but we have more 90-degree days than we do storm chances in the forecast, several of them. Let's just look at some of the humidity here coming at us over the next few days with our muggy meter. Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday. Wednesday will feel wonderful because it'll pack off just a little bit. But Monday and Tuesday, we're both into that near tropical level. I mean, that's that uncomfortable stuff that we had recently within the past 2 weeks. Hour by hour look at our heat index as we get into the afternoon and evening tomorrow. Outside of thunderstorms, and this is picking up on them. You see these little cool spots? It's trying to pick up on pockets of thunderstorms, and they'll likely be out there. But what we run into outside of those thunderstorms will be heat index values probably coming in the mid-90s, maybe some upper 90s as well. Not tonight. Right? A couple of degrees above what we're seeing out there. It's 77 with a feels like of 79, but most of us are running in the 70s with a few 80s in Covington and back toward Louisville. Tracking some thunderstorms to our north. This has actually sparked a severe thunderstorm watch across parts of Illinois and into Indiana. Those thunderstorms will eventually drop in on us early tomorrow morning. Marginal risk for severe weather across most of Kentucky. That just means let's pay very close attention to what these thunderstorms do tomorrow. So Micah and Chris will be tracking them through the day. We'll see exactly how they impact us as we go through the evening and into tomorrow night. Hour by hour run. Here's that batch that's causing the problems tonight across Illinois and Indiana, the ones I was talking about. Once they get here, they kind of fall apart, but there might be just enough around to give us a stray thunderstorm or two, even though the model's trying to downplay it. There could be at least a little bit. But watch as they drive a little bit deeper. It continues to go. More thunderstorms will pop up again as we get toward the afternoon and into the evening. This is when we're all hot with the air temperatures in the 90s and upper 80s. And we see those thunderstorms sweeping through, especially south and east of Lexington. And again, Some of those could be on the strong or severe side. And it all depends on where they decide to start popping in after that initial batch gets in here and kind of fades away into the morning. So we'll watch it all day long. Monday, Tuesday, still dealing with the heat. We'll back it off a little bit, though, Kristen, on Wednesday. How about 87 degrees before we go right back into the 90s?
Yeah, that's a great break from the heat.
Yeah, but here's the only positive. Humidity will go down about this much, and it'll feel okay. But it gets right back in here.
After the break, they need to win over the entire Republican Party. We'll hear from Donald Trump and his running mate in their first joint interview. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $25 million. And Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $361 million. The stage is set for the Republican National Convention. It kicks off tomorrow in Cleveland. Security is tight and there are thousands of police officers working it. CBS's Craig Boswell has the campaign 2016 update from Cleveland.
Police officers looked on as anti-Trump protesters demonstrated peacefully in Cleveland.
Donald Trump has to go. The Republican Party as a whole has to go.
Cleveland is prepared for all kinds of demonstrations around the Republican convention. They've ramped up security on land and on the water. Cars entering the vicinity of the Quicken Loans Arena are being checked, and officers ranging from local police to the Secret Service are out in force.
We planned for anything and everything that could happen.
500 Cleveland police officers will patrol the convention this week. Delegates and their guests will pass through layers of security on their way in.
Donald Trump and his running mate, Indiana Governor Mike Pence, gave their first joint interview to 60 Minutes.
I have seen more people that, frankly, did not like me so much, and now they're saying, what a great pick. You see the kind of reaction. He has helped bring the party together.
Governor Pence said he's humbled to be on the ticket and acknowledged stylistic differences with his potential boss.
It's probably obvious to people that our styles are different, but I promise you our vision is exactly the same.
The pair will try to sell that vision to delegates on the convention floor and to the American people. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Cleveland.
The head of Cleveland's police union asked the governor to temporarily suspend Ohio's open carry law. A spokesperson for the governor said he doesn't have the authority to do so. A couple of Kentucky lawmakers will also be in Cleveland for the convention this week. Both Senator Mitch McConnell and State Senator Ralph Alvarado Jr. will speak Tuesday. The theme Tuesday is Make America Work Again. As for Trump's opponent, Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, she will speak at the NAACP National Convention in Cincinnati tomorrow. New tonight, an American student is confirmed among the dead in last week's attack in Nice, France. The University of California, Berkeley said in a statement, investigators identified the body of Nicholas Leslie. The 20-year-old was from Del Mar in the San Diego area. The school says 3 other UC Berkeley students were injured in the attack. All suffered broken bones. Friends of a state trooper killed last year are planning a race in his memory. Trooper Eric Crispin was on his way out to a wreck when he died in a crash. Crispin was from Anderson County, and friends there have found a way to keep his generous spirit alive. They will be holding a 5K memorial race this September. The money raised from the race will go to Trooper Island and to a scholarship fund set up in Crispin's name at his old high school.
Eric was a graduate of Western Kentucky, and he was very proud of that, and that college degree meant a lot to him, and so this will help somebody here at Cal reach that same goal.
Registration for the race is open. If you sign up before August 5th, the cost is $30 for adults and just $20 for police officers and kids 13 and younger. Lee K's in next with sports, and Tyler Eulis played his final game of the NBA Summer League.
He did. The Summer League is drawing to a close. Eulis has impressed many over the past week, and a former Wildcat finishes near the top of the leaderboard at the British Open. That's next in sports.